this afternoon can really be summed up as a tale of two halves. The first half, we went into the locker room with great momentum, great confidence, great enthusiasm. We didn't play perfect football in any phase of the game, but all three phases made plays in the first half. Enough that we not only did we have the lead, but we felt like momentum was on our side, and most of all, for a team that's made a lot of errors and lost a lot of football games, we had confidence in the locker room. The second half, when the offense didn't move the ball to start off the half, and we had the blocked punt for a touchdown and obviously the PAT. I think that really was the momentum of the game shifted dramatically at that time, and we gave them life. It's a credit to Buffalo that they came out in the second half. They had just better effort than we did on that block punt, and then so we just never really recouped from that point forward. Offensively, way too many short drives, and when we needed our defense to be at their very best in the second half or in the fourth quarter, at that point of the game, I felt like they had really been grinded down by Buffalo's running game. If we had done better on offense, they wouldn't have been on the field so much, and certainly they would have had more juice at the end of the game when we needed them to. And with that, I'm open for questions.
Charlie, can you talk about the offensive line? Obviously, losing Anthony and Bolin. I mean, that's got.
You know, it's frustrating, and we've been down this road almost every single week where we're playing with new guys. Anthony Dima is unquestionably been playing the best on our offensive line, at least through the last 3-4 weeks. And to lose your best offensive lineman when you don't have many good ones was a blow to our team. We did the best we could. We stayed positive in practice. I hope that Dima would be back. Obviously, it just wasn't to be, and we had to mix and match. And then, of course, losing Mike Bolin, who's still a freshman and making plenty of freshman mistakes, but nevertheless has been basically a starter for all the games except when he was injured. So now we take him out of the lineup, and it's just a little bit of disarray. In the first half, they weren't able to capitalize on it as well, but then they changed up. They brought a little bit more pressure in the second half, things that normally we would be able to handle, but when you got guys who just aren't equipped, it certainly started to show itself. And we used a number of different tactics to try to neutralize it, but it just at the end we just couldn't protect well enough. We couldn't run the ball well enough to sustain drives, be consistent, and keep our defense off the field.
I think they had 6 straight third down conversions in the second half. Just tough to get off the field.
Well, it was and they did it a number of different ways. One was 3rd and 16, and they throw down the middle of the field, and we have no safety. Another time it was 3rd and 4, and they hand it to the big guy, and he throws a jump pass to the tight end. You know, so both those things you certainly don't account for them. You expect your safety to be in the middle of the field. You don't expect the big back to execute a jump pass. You know, and certainly we have a guy responsible for the tight end, but just lost his discipline. Assuming that the big guy was going to carry the ball, and you saw the result. So those are two that just jump out. Then of course I think they ran the draw down there when they went in and scored, and but at that point I think we were pretty worn out. That was an 80-yard drive. They had the muff punt, and they got the ball on the 20, and they used, not only did they wear us down and score, but also used a lot of clock in the process.
Charlie, was there a sense for you at the time that the offense not being able to convert those drives deep into Buffalo territory early on in the game?
Oh, I knew they would come back to haunt us. They always do. Yeah, I knew they would. And we didn't have our long snapper in there today, and we had some snaps that were not the best. I think they were manageable, but everything was just a little bit off kilter like that. You know, with that.
Charlie, do you think the lack of the running game, do you think that had something to do with the amount of pressure that Wexham was on in the second half?
Well, no, there was great opportunities to run the ball in the first half and second half. It's just we weren't able to win our individual matchups, because at the end of the day, every play comes down to one-on-one matchups, and you're trying to get the best leverage on a particular play with a blocker, and Some of it was through errors, and some of it was just guys being mismatched. And there's nowhere to hide them. All 5 offensive linemen generally are going to block on every run play. So sometimes they win, and sometimes they don't. We should be winning a lot more of those matchups, and right now we're not. We will in the future, but today we didn't.
Considering how long they were on the field, do you think this is one of the better performances from your defensive front?
Well, I would say that up into the fourth quarter, I thought they had played really well. They put decent pressure on the quarterback. They did a good job of neutralizing their run game until the fourth quarter. But you look at the numbers now, and the quarterback probably had a pretty good game. I don't know for sure. 18 for 30, 226 rushing. They had a guy with 90, a guy with they had 170 yards rushing. That's a lot of yards. So, yeah, sure, for 3 quarters we did a great job. Controlling the line of scrimmage. But in the fourth quarter we were either out of gas or out of motivation or some combination thereof.
As far as punt returns, most of the season haven't gotten many return yards, but today, a couple of big ones. What did you guys change to?
I just think that Trey Dudley has become better and better. Trey Dudley Giles each and every game. He's getting more confident. You watch him on defense. You watch him on punt return. He wants to return the ball. He doesn't want to fair catch it. He wants to catch it and make something happen. Where at the beginning of the year, when he kind of got pressed into action, he was just glad to catch the ball. Now he's got that part. He's confident in his ability to catch the ball, and now it's that next thing, making something happen with it.
Can you talk about that touchback safety call? What did you see?
I didn't think he caught the ball. So it was a muff punt, and they touched it. We had a chance to get on it, and what happens is, guys go, instead of just recovering it, somebody's trying to scoop and score, and we end up pushing it out of the side of the end zone, so it becomes a touchback. I could have saved 20 minutes. I knew what was going to happen, but they didn't ask me.
On your very first drive, it looked like there was a touchdown. In fact, one of the refs ruled it a touchdown.
On the third down, right? On third down, I believe they signaled it.
I think it was second down, actually. Second down.
Oh, okay.
And then you ran 2. Was there a review on?
Well, suppose the guy on the side told me why it wasn't a touchdown, and I just left it at that. I didn't have any time to have a discussion. I mean, we were already well past it anyway, so we'll figure it out once we look at the video and get a chance to talk to the officials and see what they had to say on it.
He just said that his knee was down? Or?
No. For whatever reason, maybe he didn't have a good angle on it. I can't tell you. He just said, because I said, somebody signaled touchdown, and then he said, yeah, but, and then he gave some reason. And I was on to the next thing. I couldn't sit there and dwell on the past.
Obviously, with the exception of the block punt, Coulter had a couple of nice punts for you guys to just talk about his performance.
Yeah, he gets, I said it last week, he gets really better and better every week. And I don't know whose fault the block punt was. It's they're so bang, bang, it happens so fast. And my eyes could have been one of 100 different places. I just saw the moment before the guy blocked it. So how he got there so quickly, I can't tell you that. But beyond that, Coulter has become one of the more steady performers on our football team, and he's kept us in the game a week ago, and certainly kept us in the game again today.
And how about the emergence of Blake Lucas? That's 5 in a row now, I think. So he's.
Yeah, it's not so much an emergence as now we can actually use him. For whatever reasons we've gotten down close enough. The downside of it is we're stalling out and having to kick field goals rather than kicking PATs. But he's been confident all year. After the UConn game, he was a little bit down, and then after that, he picked up and just we went through that dry spell where we couldn't score a touchdown, couldn't get close to kick a field goal. So now at least he's a viable weapon. So the addition of those two on our football team have helped our kicking game tremendously.
Anything else?
Perry, what was the big difference obviously on the score from the first half to the second half, the way you guys played?
It's the fourth quarter. You know, Buffalo was able to basically win the game, win a close game in the fourth.
Third down conversions that you guys just couldn't get off the field?
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, I think we didn't get off the field one time on third downs, so that was a big difference, and that's why you know we probably lost.
Rob, obviously the big play was the block punt. You talked about how that's shifted momentum if it did.
Yeah, obviously special teams is a huge part of the game, so when plays like that happen, it tends to take the air out of the team that's you know, getting the punt blocked. So as far as the offense, I know we were on the bench talking about the previous drive, so we were just trying to correct our mistakes on the previous drive. And when I saw that happen, I heard the crowd, so I looked up and I saw it was disappointing to see, but at the same time, you know, you have to move on. We just said, all right, we're right back up. Let's take it to them. But
Can you talk about the struggles that the offense had during this game?
a lot of times I felt I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest, because I was out running a route. And I'd look back and Mike was taking pressure, so I couldn't really tell you until I watched film what was going on there, as far as you know, blocking assignments and protection and all that. But you know, Buffalo's defensive line and linebackers definitely came after us, and you know, that was a huge factor of pressuring Mike, and you know, that's a big reason why we couldn't get the ball rolling.
Perry, could you feel the front seven getting ground down a little bit late in the game when they started pounding their big back there towards the end?
Yeah, because you know, in the fourth quarter, like we played tough defense for 3 quarters, and then the fourth, you know, that's when they basically won the game, and we couldn't get off on third down. So up front, I feel like we got tired.
Rob, it really seems like you guys struggled to establish the run game, and of course, Dima and Bolin being out probably didn't help. But can you just talk about the running struggles?
Like I said, I mean, if you notice in the past game, I'm out there running routes, and in the run game, a lot of times I'm in motion, running backside. So a lot of times I don't see what's going on in those types of things until I get to watch film. But just from what I saw, it just looked like the defense winning individual battles. And, you know, our guys in the first half were doing a great job, and then I couldn't really tell you what happened in the second half. It just whether it was a lack of momentum or, you know, want to, I don't know, but they just got it done.
Just missed opportunities in the first half when you had to settle for 2 field goals and down on downs, turnover on downs.
Excuse me?
Just missed opportunities for you guys, and it could have been a much better lead at halftime.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of close calls too. Obviously, the one with Dion went our way, but the one with Mike, you know, there's things that happen in a game where, you know, when you're on offense, you'd like to think that he got the first down or he was out of bounds or whatever, you know. So it's a lot of close calls, and that's just the way it is, you know.
Do you think you guys had the touchdown scored in that first drive?
I'm not sure what play.
It was a second down play before Mike went over the top twice.
Oh, when Broadnex ran it?
Yeah.
I don't know, it was a close one. I'm not going to comment on that. It's a close one.
Anything else? All right, thanks.
Mike, it looked like you took a little bit of a beating there in the second half. Can you just talk about the pressure you were under?
Well, first and foremost, just it's a great team we played. Great defense, 46, 48, and 40. You know, those guys, that's the real deal. I mean, they're flying around. Obviously, right at the end there, it showed what they can do. You know, we just need to look back and, you know, learn from what happened.
How much did you guys miss Dima and Bolin?
I mean, obviously that didn't help, but we have guys that definitely can fill in their spots and you know, can play well. And, you know, for whatever reason, you know, we had some trouble, you know, today. Obviously, I felt some of it there at the end. But it's a team game, you know. We win as a team, lose as a team.
When you are getting protection, it almost seems like you're kind of on the same page with your receivers more so than you were earlier this season. Are you opening up the playbook? What's happening out there? It seems like you and Dion are on the same page, especially you and Alan Williams. Is it something something in practice, or is it just learning more of the playbook that Molnar has you?
Just playing together. You know, we get a lot of time together on the field for practice and games as we move on throughout the season. I feel like we just get better acquainted with each other, I guess you could say, get more comfortable and know what each other are going to do when we're out on the field. So that helps, and I think obviously we're learning the schemes better as we move on to and progress throughout the season. So all that together, it helps out.
Anything else? Thanks, everybody.